Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. Welcome to EMS at Sea Level. I'm here at Intervala and I'm joined by Teresa. Great to see you. Thanks for allowing us in the facility. Super impressive factory, super clean, spotless floors. I felt like I could have run my finger across the top of everything and picked up no dust. So that's super impressive. Tell me a bit about the history of the business and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, so basically, Intervala can trace its roots back to the late 1880s, believe it or not. But about 7 years ago, the business was not doing well. Really, it was under prior ownership, was about to be closed. So myself and a group of other investors were able to put a deal together to acquire the business and create Intervala. Mm-hmm. And at the time, that saved about 150 jobs. And now, Intervala is 500 plus employees and growing.
Since you acquired Intervala, have you acquired other businesses to add to it?
Yes, we have. So over the course of the last few years, we've basically made an acquisition a year through 2022. And so we've done 4 acquisitions. The first one really, our first goal strategically was to have a second manufacturing site, right? For most of our customers, they really want to have some sort of a backup plan in place. So part of our strategy is to make sure we have at least 2 sites ongoing at all times. And then really the other acquisitions were designed more to add key customers to our list of customers, diversify markets, things like that. And so we've kind of integrated most of what we've acquired into the 2 current manufacturing locations, one in New Hampshire and one here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you had a flood, didn't you? Which proved the importance of 2 facilities. Tell me a little bit about what happened there.
Yes, so Christmas Eve 2019, never forget that day for sure. Myself and a lot of other people will never forget that evening. So there was a water, basically a fire suppression pipe burst on the 3rd floor of our manufacturing facility. At the time, we were on 3 floors. Not ideal for manufacturing, but that was the setup that we had. And it burst on the 3rd floor. Water poured, literally hundreds of thousands of gallons of water poured through the facility, making it completely inoperable. No power, no heat, no ability to use the elevator, none of that. So, the team sprang into action. We have an amazing team. And by New Year's, we were moving equipment into the facility where we are now, that you saw today. And we never missed a beat with our customers. They were great to work with, helped us prioritize, but we never ceased manufacturing. We were able to locate some small little places to continue operating in the interim, get our new facility set up and running. And really within 3 weeks of the flood, we had product coming off of the end of SMT lines. Yeah. So pretty impressive. The team deserves a lot of kudos for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to Joe about it, and he talked about the team, but he also talked about calling suppliers up on Christmas Eve and saying, hey, we've got a problem here. Can you help us fix it? And they rallied too. So absolutely. It shows the importance of partnerships like the one you have with Co-Young here at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. Everyone had to rally together because we had inventory that was ruined in the flood from the water, right? I mean, water and electronics, not a good combination. And the equipment, all the equipment providers were awesome, including Co-Young. They all, again, sprang into action and came to the facility, helped us get everything set up. And it was really a great success story. And the building we're in now, the facility is great. It's amazing. It was great to be able to take a blank sheet of paper, which is what this was, and design it the way you want to design it. I would have preferred to have had a little more time to do that, right, versus a crisis on Christmas Eve with the water. But, sometimes great things come out of things that you don't expect, like a flood.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually the facility looks great. And on the plan, you have a big expansion space. You're expecting to push through there pretty soon.
Yeah, we absolutely do. Yeah, we have over 200,000 square feet here and the ability to add, really just about as much as we would need in terms of the expansion space. So it's proved to be a great location for us.
Yeah. And tell me a bit about the kind of work you do here and the kind of customers you have and what makes them want to choose not just Intervala but to choose to manufacture here in the US.
So I would say that really the key to what makes us different or our success would be that we have a very customer-centric culture. All of our customers and the markets that we serve really are high reliability type markets. So our markets are primarily defense, medical, and industrial, but very high-end products, right? That's kind of the common thread. All the products are highly technical, very sophisticated. We're dealing with customers that are leaders in their market. They care a lot about things like time to market, perfect product quality, things like that. And, manufacturing in the U.S. and kind of being able to provide short lead times, control everything is very important to them. Much more important than, perhaps, trying to shave a few pennies off the cost of direct labor by looking at, a low-cost region for that. So all of our manufacturing is in the U.S. We don't have any plans to really change that. Again, it's key for us to listen to the voice of the customer, and certainly we'll continue to adapt as we need to. But, looking again at total cost, labor is such a small component for the products that we're manufacturing. We're not doing cell phones and, other consumer products at all here. That that part of it's really not applicable at all for us at this point, at least. And you saw the facility today. You saw a tremendous amount of automation. So on the direct labor side, where we focus is automating to the extent that we possibly can. And that's for product quality, its cost, its availability of people. That's a challenge that I know everyone faces. And the more we can automate, the better it is.
Yeah, and I think smart investments like that automation is going to help mitigate those problems like talent shortages. We talked a bit off camera about the disruptions that we've seen over the last 5 years and pretty much over the life of Intervala. You've seen these various disruptions, and most recently we've had component disruptions. I think a lot of those disruptions have actually discouraged maybe some American companies from sending their product offshore, so it's had a positive impact. And I think also when I look at the component shortage, it seems to have brought you closer to your customers. You've had to pretty much talk to them every day, even if sometimes it's been with disappointing news.
Yes, absolutely. I think the component shortage, it started with the flood. We wrote the flood, 2019 into...
That was one of your first disruptions.
It was, yeah, the flood, right into, it was also our first acquisition, had happened just right, prior to that. COVID, supply chain shortage, all of that. And, our customer base is great. We've got great partnerships with our customers. It's definitely, we've worked closely with them. It's been very disruptive for our customers. They have custom designs, they have components in those that, although we have a great component engineering team here and we try to cross, to different components to keep their supply, coming, some of those parts are just custom and very hard to find. But so it's, again, looking for the good and all the bad. I think it's definitely strengthened our customer relationships. I think that, they value us, we value them. Of course, we've worked closely together. Sometimes that has involved, higher costs for components, which, again, nobody wants to pay, but everybody understands the situation.
Yeah, and sometimes it does take a crisis or it takes an issue for you to really show your mettle in terms of how you can support those customers. So I think that's really valuable. Has it created, do you think, more sticky relationships? And does it mean that you've got perhaps more visibility in your order book than you had prior to the component shortages?
Yeah, in terms of the stickiness, I feel like for the markets we're in and the customers we serve, those relationships are fairly sticky anyway. We need to continue to do a good job for our customers, and we think we do that. We will always be focused on that. And so of course I don't think the supply chain has hurt that at all. I think the relationships are all, pretty sticky at this point.
Yeah, and what do you think about things like CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act? Are they having an impact on business in the U.S.?
I think we will see. I think the headlines would suggest that they are. And I think it will take time to see if it has a lasting impact or not. Right now, from our viewpoint, we haven't seen anything substantial from any of that. Doesn't mean it won't come, and it doesn't mean it's not going to be lasting, but I think it's a little bit too early to say.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a bit of a renaissance in manufacturing in the US and that continue to grow. But I think what you mentioned earlier is a key part of that. Automation has to be part of that strategy. So as you look forward the next couple of years, are you thinking more acquisitions? Do you have strategy to do that? Is it a mixture of that and organic growth? How do you see the business developing and changing?
Yeah, I think, we'll always look at acquisitions for sure. We view it at this point as not something we need to do to continue to grow. We have we're in the process of, re-upping our strategic plan again, kind of our 5-year planning window that we do, and I think we have, great visibility from our customers moving forward. We have some very good new opportunities. So we don't think that we need to do an acquisition to continue to grow, but certainly we want to be opportunistic. And so we're always looking at a combination of organic and inorganic growth if it makes sense. But, for now, for us, it's just kind of stay the course, serve our customers. The most important thing is not to lose sight of that customer-centric culture and to make sure that our customers are happy. I'd much rather keep them than have to try to replace one,
Yeah.
So we'll stay focused on that and continue to grow.
Yeah, and taking care of customers, taking care of the team here seems to be the key. And keep doing what you're doing. You're obviously doing the right thing.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, we have a great team, a great group of customers, so, just looking forward to the future.
Yeah, it all bodes well, Teresa. Thanks for joining me and thanks for taking the time today. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.